After nearly a decade of being labeled as the Temu version of Overwatch, the journey of Paladins seems to sadly be approaching its end. Hi-Res Studios have announced that the active development on Paladins has ceased, marking the conclusion of an era for this beloved hero shooter. In a recent statement, a Hi-Res representative conveyed that Paladins, along with Smite 1 and Rogue Company, will have no further major updates to the games. Now, for those of you who might not be familiar with the game Paladins, it is a free 5v5 hero shooter. It was released in early access in 2016 and was officially launched in 2018. The game is very similar to Overwatch but has managed to carve out its own identity with some unique mechanics and customization possibilities. In Paladins, you can choose from over 50 different champions spread out over 4 roles: frontline, damage, support, and flank. Furthermore, there's a loadout system which allows players to modify a champion's abilities using cards. Paladins also features different maps with different objectives like Siege, where you push a payload, or Team Deathmatch, or Onslaught. And I would love to hear from you guys if you ever tried out Paladins, and if you did, what your favorite memory was of the game. Leave a comment down below. Over the years, Paladins managed to build a dedicated player base and even had an esports scene with competitive tournaments. It did very well as a strong alternative for those who wanted a more customizable hero shooter and for those who simply wanted a free alternative to Overwatch. Maybe they were broke college students, or maybe they were just too young to spend that money on Overwatch, which was back when Overwatch used to be $40. But the game also faced its fair share of challenges. As you know, 2016 to 2019-ish or even 2020 was the time of Overwatch's prime. Any game that came out at this time that was somewhat similar to Overwatch or a hero shooter was almost doomed to be in Overwatch's shadows forever. There's no denying that Paladins is very similar to Overwatch and was almost immediately labeled as the free knockoff version of Overwatch, with a similar playstyle, similar game modes, and similar heroes. For example, Androx's similarity to McCree or Cassidy now, Sha Lin's similarity to Hanzo, Fernando's similarity to Reinhardt, and Maeve's similarity to Genji, and so on. There was a lot of judgment and pre-condemning Paladins from people who wouldn't even give it a chance. I honestly think if some people actually played the game, they would realize that yes, while they're extremely similar, Paladins does manage to stand out pretty well and do their own thing. But most people just instantly got the perception that it was simply a free-to-play Overwatch clone, disregarding any deeper mechanics and unique elements. So why is Paladins ending, if despite all the controversy and challenges, it managed to build a loyal player base? Well, the primary reason seems to be a shift in focus at Hi-Res Studios. The company has faced recent layoffs and has now started prioritizing the development of Smite 2, the next big project for the studio. Hi-Res have stated that with Smite 2 in active development, they had to make the difficult decision to cease future content updates for Paladins and Rogue Company and Smite 1, and a lot of other games. It seems that they're really putting all of their eggs in one basket with this Smite 2 project. Like they're ceasing development for all other games and just solely relying that this game will be a big hit. So what's next for Paladins? Fortunately, there are some good news, which is that Hi-Res have decided to not shut down the servers just yet. That means you will still be able to play Paladins as of right now, just don't expect any new content in the game. Hi-Res confirmed that players can continue to enjoy Paladins for the foreseeable future, even though no new content will be added. The community, as expected, has been a mix of sadness, nostalgia, and frustration. Despite being a pretty unknown game or a really underrated game, there are many longtime players who have dedicated a lot of time to Paladins and feel that it still has potential, but there has just been a lack of support from the developer side in recent years, leading to this outcome being inevitable. And I personally was hit with some extreme nostalgia and sadness too when finding this out, which I actually did thanks to a comment on my Overwatch vs Rivals video, so thank you for that. But yeah, it definitely hit. As someone who appreciated Paladins very much in its early days, and still hop on every now and then to get a few games in. Despite still feeling a bit rough around the edges somewhere, and the lobby/menu still needing a lot of work to make the navigation easier, just small things like that, I still really enjoyed the game, and especially its fantasy adventure-ish art style. The art style and setting of the maps and characters really just went so well together for me, in my opinion. which definitely made me appreciate the game more than I would have if they had gone with a realistic or futuristic style. And there are so many unique characters who are genuinely fun to play, and man, I'm really gonna miss the game a lot if they ever decide to fully shut down the servers, which some people are expecting. Some people are expecting the shutdown to be very soon, like they don't expect this maintenance mode to last long. Since its launch, Paladins definitely has had an impact on the hero shooter genre, even though it's often forgotten. Its deep customization, wide cast of characters, and free-to-play accessibility with relatively low spec requirements easily made it a favorite for those people who maybe didn't have all the resources to play a game like Overwatch. While its time of new content and development may be over, I'll never forget the memories and highlights made within the realm of champions. Whether you've been here since beta or just joined recently, I hope Paladins was a special and fun experience. This might be the end of new content, but as long as there are players within the realm, the game will live on. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please leave a like or subscribe. I truly appreciate it. I hope to see you around. See ya.